You are capable of winning races, but you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back, everybody, on a Monday evening to the Dirt Racing Network in live coverage. The Dirt Slingers Racing League Monday Night Thunder RockinK Logistics 410 Outlaw Sprint Car Series, Eldora Speedway. Site for round number 7 of the season. 28 Winged Warriors in attendance. They have been out for some practice laps. They are in their driver's meeting at the moment. After that driver's meeting, pill draw for their heat races. I believe at 28 we will see 4 heat races. We will lock 16 drivers in. We'll have a couple of B mains to find our final 6. We'll put 22 out there for 30 laps in the A main at the end of the evening. Yeah, Adam, I got you, buddy. I know. You're too hung up in them trucks. I saw you was in that Midwest Truck Series server. You guys were practicing for Texas. I get it. I understand. 100%. You didn't hurt my feelings. You don't know where I keep them. So, and Moore won. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to tell you, yeah, follow. I'm not really sure which one, but yeah. Welcome back, Bill. Hi to everybody out there in viewerland. Again, if this is your first time with us, please make sure if you're on the Facebook page, like, share, and follow. If you are on YouTube, Twitch, or Trovo, you've hit the subscribe button so you know every time we go live. 4 nights a week, 6 races, Monday through Thursday. There are a lot of drivers in here tonight that have won in past competition. There are some past champions, and your current DSRL King of the Wing for 2025. Well, he was quickest in the practice session. So we will see. His hardware went out today. I know that as a fact. It got in the mail today. Uh-oh, here we go. Caliente, this is hot, apparently, whatever it is. Admin's asking, are we ready to get the night started? We certainly are. Show number 2. If you missed the big block race at Knoxville a little while ago, shame on you. That was an amazing finish. That was an awesome race between Nick Ham and Dalton DeWert for the win there. Those last 15 laps, they were really all over one another. The last 2, they were literally touching each other almost all the way around the racing track there, and the finish was fantastic. Excuse me. Make sure you shout out your favorite driver in the chat, or that you say at least hello. Let us know where you're watching from as we get ready to go trackside and show you the starting lineup for heat number 1. Rylan Gray in the 06 will have the pole, and he'll have the 10 of Ross Carinta to his outside. 73 of Larry Moody, row 2 to the inside, and then newcomer to the series, Ty Schobelach in the 71. It's actually, I think, the 17. We just didn't get him tied in correctly, but he is the 17 car. He starts outside row 2. King Whiskers, Ernie Williams, the 91, row 3 to the inside. He's got Brad Waite in the 814 on his outside. And then your current King of the Wing, Bowen Smith. In that 12 car, he's inside of row number 4. Next to John Klimowitz in the 34. We only have 3 heat races tonight. And Richie Gaines in the 11 next to the 24 of Noah Bowman. They make up that 5th and final row tonight. As the drivers rolling out onto the track. Gonna get us ready to go for heat number 1 here. I think we'll have 10, 10, and 8 for our 3 heats. We'll lock in 12, and we'll dig 12 more out of our 2B mains. We're only going to send home about 6 cars tonight. Row 3 to the outside. That is not Ernie Williams. That is Brad Waite, and Brad Waite is not in the 814. Yes, he is. Okay, I thought that said 44 on the side from up here. Old eyes, folks. Forgive me, please. So we'll get ready to go green this time out of turn number 4. Heat number 1, 8 laps. Top 4 automatically transfer. Everybody else gets to play in the soup. Rylan Gray wasted no time. He jumps on the throttle early and all the way to the floor, and he jumps out to the lead. Corinta had a second momentarily, but Schobelach in the 17 made a run on the outside, and he almost took that spot away. Now he goes to the inside. Schobelach out of 2, up to second. Corinta and Waite stacked in behind. Williams looking for racing room in the middle of the racetrack, trying to get himself into a lock-in position. Larry Moody is right there. They're 3 wide out of 2 with Waite up top, Williams in the middle, and Moody was on the bottom, and now Ernie Williams a little out of sorts, and he's going to lose a couple of spots here pretty quickly. Gray has got it in hand. Schobelach to second easily in a spot. Corinta and Waite are battling third and fourth. Here comes Williams again. Now got around both Gaines and Moody. He is going to be knocking on Brad Waite's tail end right there pretty quick. Needs that spot to get locked in. 2 to go this time. Out of 4. Top 4 have not changed. We're watching Ernie Williams to see if he can get into transfer spot. Got to pick off the 814 that's about 5 car lengths, 6 car lengths in front of him on the white flag lap, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get it done. Schobelach may make a bid for the lead here. Gray on the slider line wins the heat. Schobelach, Corinta, and Waite will hang on. They'll take the transfer spots. Williams, Smith, Moody, Gaines, Bowman, and Klimowitz. We'll see you boys in the B main. So from the back to the center for Bowen Smith. Still in the B main though. Let's get ready to look at the starting lineup for heat number 2, and it's going to be the 83 of Thaddeus Marshall on the pole with Matt Grimm in the 91 on his outside. Trevor Royer, past series champion at DSRL in sprint car competition, inside of row number 2, and he's got Patrick Spangler in the 39 on his outside. Gumby, the 85, good to see Tyler Schell back again. He starts inside of row number 3. That's a former world champion right there in that 5th starting spot. Chris Sebeski, the 66, he's the partner in row number 3 with Schell. He starts on the outside. Scott Thomason in row number 4 on the inside in the 6 car. Scotty T next to Jay Schaff in the 3, the outside of that row. And Ryan Scheidt in the 10. Another Black Diamond Motorsports guy. He will start P9 for this one. So we'll have a 10, a 9, and a 9, it looks like. We don't hate that, ever. Keep the chat. Somebody off of Facebook, let me know that you're getting this feed on Facebook. Just say hi in the chat. I don't care. I have my doubts. I know I saw that it was streaming, but I got nothing from Facebook in the last race. So, all right, lights off on the pace truck. Heat 2 about to commence. 8 more laps. Top 4 once again automatically transferring in to tonight's A main. Everybody else will go into a B main, and the top 6 from each of those B mains will make transfer spots as well. All right, now Grimm and Marshall side by side. Pace truck getting out of the way.
Green flag, green flag.
And a good start. Green flag. Going to hold up. Marshall to the point there. 2 and 3 wide behind. Schell and Grimm now come together. 3 wide. They're going to sort that all out before we get off turn 2. Trevor Royer making a bid on Tyler Schell to try to take that 4 spot away as Schell fell back off of that 3-way battle for second momentarily. He falls back to 4th. He is behind Patrick Spangler. Spangler, if you're a sprint car fan, you know that car. You know it's got a different number on it most nights, but you know whose car that is. Tyler Schell, Trevor Royer still battling. Sebeski in the 6th spot. Scheidt, Schaff, and Thomason back through the remaining part of the field, but Thaddeus Marshall up front. It's a big battle for second and third. Car in the fence. That's going to be Shell. We're going to have our first caution. Hello, Bill. Thank you for going over to Facebook. Let's get over here and let's take a drone cam look, if we can find it, of what happened. Shell from fourth, going to try to go all the way to second. Big slider up the hill. He got a little contact on the nose of Grimm's car. Up and into the fence. Matt Grimm looks like he has problems as well. He's going to the work area quickly to see if he can do anything with that car. He's going to be on a B main almost certainly tonight after that one. So we'll slow things down with about 3 laps to go. It's Marshall, Spangler, Sobeski, Scheidt, Schaff, Thomason, and Royer through 7th. And then Grimm and Shell, we're going to see how that all shakes out. Looks like those two are 8th and 9th right now, both off the track. So it looks like a 2-lap shootout when we get ready to go back to it. Officially on scoring. Ryan Scheidt up here in a transfer spot. Ryan Scheidt started Outback Jack. He was 9th when we dropped the green flag. So he has made up a handful of spots, and he's going to need to hang on in front of Jay Schaff there if he is going to make an automatic transfer. And that would be something of a feat right there. I think we're ready to go back to green flag racing right here. We'll drop the green, we'll come around, we'll get the white, and we'll come around and grab some checkers for heat number 2. Pace truck's out of the way. Marshall, quick start, and he's going to have a good one. He's going to have plenty of gap. Spangler's going to have his work. And that Donnie Schatz replica car right there, trying to catch him. Normally Spangler's 39, tonight he's number 15. Sobeski up to the 3rd spot, and Ryan Scheidt still hanging on in 4th. We're on the white flag. As we come out of turns 3 and 4, he went for the lead. Spangler got into Marshall. That is going to shake things up. This is going to get wild. Sobeski, Scheidt, Schaff, and Marshall make the transfer spots. Grimm comes back to 5th, Royer 6th, Thomason 7th, and Spangler off the nose of that car. That slider did not clear, and he ends up going from a shot at the lead to fall into 8th position real quick like. And Marshall was able to hang on and stay in a transfer spot, just not at the front of the field as when he went into turn number 3. So we are going to get ready. We're going to take a look at our starting lineup for the final heat race. The 24 of Josh Whiteman on the pole with the 518 of Joseph Grandy on his outside. And it's going to be Chris Haddon in the 52. Row 2 to the inside. Next 2, Doc Watson in the 66. Scott King, Tiny Dancer in the 118. He has got row 3 inside starting duties next to his buddy Dean Reynolds in the 79. And then our final full row, the 187, Rick Main inside. The 21 of Garrett Boyd on the outside of that road. And Tom Ostendorf, not in the big block race, but here for the 410s is Josh Whiteman. Missed the official call start of the race. He is still sitting on pit road. He is going to have to join the field the instant they go by and drop the green flag. And he is going to be at the back fighting to get a spot back in one of the transfer spots. So that is going to move that 52 of Christopher Haddon up to the pole, and the inside row is going to slide all the way forward. That'll put O Tiny Dancer in that 3rd position up there. And I don't see Deb in chat, or at least she hasn't said hi yet. All right. I believe we are ready to drop the green flag on this thing and get it going. Pace truck dives to the inside. Chris Haddon.
Green flag.
Joseph Grandy On the start, Scott King is going to try to go from inside row 2 to the lead, and he didn't quite get there. Grandy got a good run on the top, but he'll come out second. Haddon's back to third. Rick Main, that bright red and black machine, trying to make a move up there into that third spot. He gets it. Who's coming with him? That's Dean Reynolds trailing behind in the 79. He's got the 4th spot at the moment. Watson, there's contact. There's a lot of contact, boys. Hope everybody keeps them facing forward. Ostendorf on the short end of that stick. That opens things up. Grandy is way out in front of this one. King second, Main third, Reynolds fourth, Garrett Boyd a distant 5th place right now. And he is going to have his hands full pretty quick because Watson has caught up to him. Didn't have a caution for that. Everybody stayed facing forward. They're just going to keep on running. Move from Rick Main on Scott King, and he takes the spot. The 187 now up to the 2nd spot. Scott King's to 3rd. Dean Reynolds is still 4th. I think our top 4, as long as they can keep them on all 4 tires. They got 2 laps. And they are going to make it into tonight's show directly from their heat races. Watson and Boyd are now going at it for 5th. Watson, one of the cars that was involved in all that contact out of turn 4 on lap 2. Trying to make a recovery. But Joseph Grandy got the lead early, drove away from the field. He's going to win it by about 9/10 of a second. He goes to the A main with Rick Main, Scott King, and Dean Reynolds. Watson, Boyd, Haddon, Ostendorf, and Whiteman. B main time for you boys. We'll split the remaining drivers up. There's about 16 of them. We'll split them up to 8 car B mains. We'll take 6. That can't be right. Yeah, that looks like that might be right. Either way, we'll start them up with Ernie Williams and Doc Watson on the front row, Trevor Royer and Larry Moody in row 2. Chris Haddon and Mike Spangler, they make up row 3, and then Noah Bowman with Josh Whiteman in that final row. I am going to say all 8 guys look like they're going to make. Only one I don't see at this very moment is Trevor Royer. The 90 car on the inside of row 2, I don't see him. Just has to finish in the top 6. There's Royer. He pops in just before we're ready to roll him off. 12 laps for each B main. And Noah Bowman way at the back of this one. The 224 cars will be side by side in it. One is red and black. The other is just plain old black. We'll get ready to fire them off with Williams and Watson up front. We're taking 5 out of each B main, not 6, 5. Top 5 from each B main or go to the feature tonight. We locked in 12. We need 10 more. So the top 5 from each of these 2 B mains will be locked in. So ready for green flag action. 12 laps. B main number 1 underway.
Green, green, green.
Williams to the point with Royer right behind Watson. Trails in 3rd. They're 3 wide behind that. That's going to be for 4th, 5th, 6th on back. And right now Watson's got 3rd locked in. Spangler's in 4th, and Whiteman up to 5th. Picked up 3 spots already. He started on the outside of the back row for this B main. And he is working his way up into a transfer spot. Missed the start of his heat race, and that relegated him to a deep start in a B main, and he's making the best of it in the transfer spot at the moment. Bowman up to 6th. Moody and Haddon have fallen back 7 and 8. And now Watson on the bubble. Doc Watson, the 66. He's your bubble boy at the moment. He's got his hands full. That car looks like it's really loose in a couple of spots. Not completely settled underneath him. He is fighting. And now Noah Bowman goes for the slider in 1 and 2. Put Bowman up to the spot momentarily. He's going to be able to hang on to it. Watson wasn't able to get the car on the line he wanted on the exit. So Noah Bowman now the bubble boy, and he's getting away from Watson pretty easy. Williams and Royer on cruise control. Spangler the same, but Whiteman's closing in on him. Going to be down to 4 to go this time by already. So we'll go back to 5th place and look at Bowman. He's in the transfer spot. That car just does not look very happy right now. Just doesn't look like it's got much side bite getting into the corners. He is really wrestling that thing, getting it around here. Ernie Williams coming around this time. He is going to see. He already saw 2 to go. He'll get the white flag this time out of 3 and 4. Williams and Royer 1-2. Spangler still 3rd. Whiteman and Bowman 4 and 5. And it's keep it facing forward, keep it on all fours, and get to the checks, and you're going to the A main for those 5 drivers. As Williams punches his ticket, Royer, Spangler, Whiteman, and Bowman. Noah Bowen makes his way in. Moody, Haddon, and Watson. Better luck next week in the 360s, fellas. Thanks for coming out. No parting gift for you tonight. So we got 17 of our 22 locked in. We'll pick up 5 more from B main number 2. Guys will get about 60 seconds, I think, out there for their practice sessions. And they will move on to tonight's A main, but much work left to do. As we're going to start up the second B main with the 91 of Matt Grimm on the pole, and Bowen Smith, your current king of the wing, on his outside. Garrett Boyd, the 21, and Scott Thomason in the 6 make up a row number 2. Row 3 is the 11 of Richie Gaines, the 32 of Tom Ostendorf. And our final row for the final B main, the 85, Tyler Schell, and John Klimowitz in the 34. I don't think there's anything like a surprise fruit smoothie being delivered to the booth. That is pretty tasty, I gotta say. I think the wifey broke out the Ninja blender and put some wild berry smoothies together for us. Yeah, that's gonna give me cotton mouth before I get through this race. All right. B main number 2 about to go green down here in turn number 4. 12 more laps. We'll lock 5 more drivers to the A main 3. Joining the other 3 going home for the evening. Green flag is out. We're underway. Grimm with a great start. He brings Boyd along on that inside row to second. Way up top. In the 4th spot, Bowen Smith. Trying to hang on, cars all over the place. Contact between Schell and Gaines. That shakes things up. Schell goes all the way to 2nd. Now Boyd is 3rd. Smith is 4th. Scott Thomason is in 5th. And that battle in the top 5 isn't over because 6th place Richie Gaines locked himself up in this thing as well. We're watching Scott Thomason go wheel to wheel. Now he clears Garrett Boyd. move him to third. Boyd is fourth. Smith is fifth only for a moment. He goes 2 for 1 up the backstretch. What a run down the backstretch for Bowen Smith. Thomason, Gaines is working on getting around Boyd. He's going to clear him up the hill. Garrett Boyd's going to get squeezed into the fence. I think that was Ostendorf made contact. Richie Gaines, John Klimowitz, the 34, got by Richie Gaines. He's in a transfer spot at the moment. That's your bubble boy, the 34. 6 laps remaining. Shell, Grimm, Smith, the top 3. Thomason in the 6th and Klimowitz in the 34 are 4th and 5th. Richie Gaines now starting to fall back off the 34 a little bit. But Shell worked his way from 8th to 1st. And he is now out in front of. Setting himself up to be locked in. He's going to start deep in the A main, but he will get a start in that feature tonight. Coming around, he'll have 3 to go. We're watching the battle for the final transfer spot right here. Klimowitz turning the wick up a little bit. He is going to go after Scott Thomason a little bit here. Thomason slips in 3 and 4, and he may open the door to lose 2 spots because now Richie Gaines in the 11 gets by, and Richie Gaines goes to the bubble. Thomason's the first car on the outside looking in with 2 to go. Shell, Grimm, and Smith, 1, 2, 3. That's 4, 5, and 6 on your screen. The 11 has the spot. The 6 needs it. Checkered flag coming out. Shell goes to the A. Grimm goes to the A. Bowen Smith to the A. Klimowitz and Gaines side by side to the line, 4th and 5th. They're going to the A main. Thomason, Ostendorf, and Boyd are done for this evening. And then there was one big 30-lap race is all that remains. We're waiting to see if anybody is going to go out for practice. Are they going to let them go out for practice is the thing. Sometimes they give them a minute, sometimes they give them a couple, sometimes they give them 0 minutes. Real quickly, while we've got a minute, I'm going to remind you to tune in tomorrow night about 8:15 Eastern. We'll go live for ERA. And we'll be at Kern County with the late model pavement stock car. Wednesday night about the same time, 8:15, 8:20 Eastern. We will go live for Midwest Truck Series as they go to the Legacy Texas Speedway. My favorite Texas Speedway. And then on Thursday night at about 9:15, 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 Eastern, we go live for the Netcode Esports Mighty Midget Series and their doubleheader. So that's the remaining races for the week. This is race number 2 of the week, second race tonight. So far, we've seen great feature racing. This track can either be fantastic or a nightmare. It just depends on how that cushion at the top builds up. If that curb builds up along the wall, you're going to see some pretty good races because guys will be able to get to the bottom and make some things work, and a lot of guys are going to get right up against that fence. Try to keep the car out of the fence and rip the lip all night long. So, we're just waiting for them to advance, get the session over with, and get ready for 30 laps of A-Main racing. Word from race control, they're about ready to advance the session. That means we're about ready to get our feature. In this evening, we will get down here and get ready to show you the starting lineup. All 22 cars. Well, we want one closer to the front than that. There we go. Either way. It's going to be Rylan Gray and Chris Sobeski with the front row tonight, the 6 and the 66. The 518 of Joseph Grandy and the 71, or the 17, I'm sorry, of Ty Schobelach in row number 2. Ryan Scheidt in the 10, Rick Main the 187. They make up row 3. Your fourth row is the 10 of Ross Carinta and the 3 of Jay Schaff. The 118, Scott King, and the 814 of Brad Waite in row number 5. In row number 6, the 83 of Thaddeus Marshall. Next to the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Advance. There we go. And then Ernie Williams in the 91 and Tyler Shell, the 85 in row 7. Row 8 is Trevor Royer and Matt Grimm, the 90 and 91. The 39 and the 12. Pat Spangler in the 39. Bowen Smith in the 12 in row 9. Row 10 is the 24 of Josh Whiteman. The 34 of John Klimowitz. And then on the back row, the 24 of Noah Bowman, next to the 11 of Richie Gaines. 22 cars, 30 laps. Who's going to stand on the top of the podium at the end of this one? This is anybody's race, but I got to say, I don't think the 85 is starting deep enough in this thing. He's going to go to the front. If he can keep the wings on it and the tires up, he'll probably go to the front. Joseph Grandy had a great car in the heat race. He may have a shot to do this. Ty Schobelach, always going to be a factor. Ryan Scheidt, Ross Carinta. You got a plethora of cars that can win this thing. Green flag over the field. RockinK Logistics 410 Outlaw Sprint cars at Eldora are underway down the backstretch already. Gray and Sobeski 1-2. Grandy has third. It's a battle for fourth between Scheidt and Schobelach. They're side by side still for that fourth spot. Nobody has an advantage as Scheidt went right through the middle. Schobelach way up top. He opened the door, and I thought for a moment that Ross Carinta was going to make a move on him, and he didn't get it done. Jay Schaff through the center, picks off a couple. He gets Main and Schobelach. Moves himself to 6th. Ernie Williams is still in the top 10. Right alongside Waite. And now they clear Scott King. I'm looking back. Tyler Shell 16th. A lot of slicing and dicing going on right here in the top 5. Schobelach and Scheidt side by side. They're trying to get the Schaff. Schobelach contact with Scheidt. He'll move up the hill. He'll fall to 9th, make it almost 10th. That's Brad Waite into the 9th spot. Bowen Smith already out of this one. So the 12 car, trouble early, a caution coming out. Well, let's go see. Is it the 91 of Ernie Williams that crashes? Ooh, Jay Schaff catches a piece of the wall, slows down. Yep, there it is. He and Ernie Williams get together, and Williams, he went for an ugly ride right there. Several drivers already off track looking for repairs. Rylan Gray, Joseph Grandy, Chris Sobeski, Ross Carinta, Ryan Scheidt are the top 5. Main, Waite, King, Royer, and Spangler are the top 10 currently. There is a plethora of cars off the racetrack. I mean, there is a fistful. Whiteman, Schaff, Gaines, Marshall, Reynolds, Grimm, Shell. Schobelach is off track. Williams is off track. Everybody from 13th on back. This was not meant to be a war of attrition. I think we'll have a few rejoin the field. But we will go single file for the restart. It'll take a second for our scoring pylon to catch up once people cycle through on the first green flag lap. All right, pace truck is in. Ryland Gray wasted no time finding the loud pedal. We'll have 17 of them back in action. Gray to the front, Sebeski and Grandy side by side for second and third. Oh, Sebeski right in the line that Corinta wanted. I don't know if Corinta's going to clear. It doesn't look like it. Sebeski will hang on for third. Ryan Scheidt still fifth. Rick Main, Brad Waite. Trevor Royer around the top side takes eighth away from Scott King. And Pat Spangler is back here in the 10th spot. Then it's Reynolds, Gaines, Marshall, Klimowitz, Schaff, Grimm, and Whiteman. Whiteman's going into 3 and 4. The leaders, well, they're about a half a straightaway behind. Ryland Gray picking it up, putting it down. The battle is sizing up for 10th. Corinta and Sebeski are side by side. Corinta got a good run out of 2 up the backstretch. 2 for 1 in turns 3 and 4. Move him to second. Grandy trying to hang on to third. He uses the top side to roll around Sebeski. Sebeski still hanging on, but Scheidt now right against the push bar on the back of the car. They lap Josh Whiteman. Rick Main just a little ways off that battle for 4th and 5th. Up front, it's all Ryland Gray, and he's having his way with the field. Matt Grimm just went a lap down. Now the top 5 will get past him. Gray 7/10 of a second out in front of Ross Corinta. Corinta has got about 7/10 on Grandy, and Grandy, well, Grandy's got, if he had a mirror, he'd have a mirror full of Sebeski and Scheidt both as they're battling each other and battling for that final podium spot. Sebeski through the slider, bumped the fence out of 2, and Grandy will take it right back in 3 and 4. Once again with the slider in 1 and 2, Sebeski's just off the fence. Grandy has another run. I don't know if he's going to clear him this time. For Sebeski's going to get a run out of the top of 3 and 4. Now I think it's a matter of time. Sebeski will clear and put himself in the top 3. Move Grandy to 4th. He's right in front of Ryan Scheidt. Then it's Main. Royer now back inside the top 8. Waite is 8th. Spangler and Gaines 9 and 10. Marshall, Reynolds, King, Schaff, and Klimowitz through 15th. Only cars on the lead lap, and there they go through 1 and 2. And your leaders are just about halfway down the front stretch. Battle sizing up for the lead now as Corinta has reeled in Gray, and he's making a run for it. He'll clear him in 3 and 4. Will he get to the stripe first this time with 10 to go? Yeah. Ross Corinta out to the point. These guys are 1.7 seconds ahead of third place. It's going to be a 2-car race, and that time I thought Corinta was trying to use the lap car as a pick and shut the line off, but Gray was able to get right back to him. Big check up from Corinta. He checked up and still got a run down the backstretch. 8 to go. Clear racetrack in front of the leaders. They'll get to one more lap car before it's over. It looks like that might be Klimowitz in the 34 in front of them. Klimowitz runs 15th right now. 6 to go, and Corinta's starting to open it up. He's getting away from Gray. Sebeski is still 3rd. Grandy and Main through 4 and 5. Trevor Royer now 6th. Royer's going to make a move on Main in 3 and 4. And he'll take that spot away, put him in the top 5. 5 laps to go. Wave lap that time by for Corinta. Ross Carrenta, Adiosin, Rylan Gray in the 06. He's opened it up. He's over 6/10. Klimowicz still in the lead lap, but maybe not for much longer. He is right there in front of your leaders. It's going to be 2 to go this time. Out of 3 and 4. Signal being given. 2 more times around. Carrenta goes by Grimm. Klimowicz got around Grimm a second ago. He may not get lapped. We may end up with 15 on the lead lap. White flag coming out this time. Down the backstretch. Is Carrenta going to get around Klimowicz and put him a lap down before we get to the checkered flag? Yes, he does. Ross Carrenta wins at Eldora. Rylan Gray second. Chris Sebeski comes home third. Royer got up to 4th. Rick Main in the 5th spot. Good finish on that one. Long green run there at the end. Lap traffic really didn't play much of a factor. I thought it was going to, but it didn't. Rylan Gray quickly to the waiting room. We will wait for Sebeski and for Carrenta. There's Ross. Now we're just waiting for Chris to make his way. We'll talk to our top 3. And there's Mr. Sebeski. Chris Sebeski, you got a copy?
I got you.
All right, man, it's a hard-fought 3rd place, and looked like that track got super slick, and the line got really narrow out there tonight.
Yeah, I was pretty much up on the fence the whole time there. I didn't want to get down kind of... I was going to make people try to pass me on the inside. I didn't want to do too much, just try and stay in line and see if I could compete with the front couple guys, and fell back a little bit, but hung on.
Yeah, it looked like lap traffic there, and it didn't play a huge factor, but you still got to navigate those guys. And when you only got one line and everybody wants it, little sketchy at moments getting through there. Do you have any trouble with the lappers?
No, not the lap traffic, more so just the track. It was getting a little tricky up on top, and had a little extra fuel in the car. Probably could have taken a gallon or 2 out, and early on I tagged the wall, I think his 1st or 2nd lap, and just wanted to try and keep it off the rail, you know.
Well, an awesome run, man. You're going to come home 3rd tonight. Some shout-outs and thank yous. We'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, just the team at Phantom, Velocity Race Design, Weichel Sportswear, Power Outdoors, you guys for putting on the league, and all the competitors that run.
All right, man. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing you 3 weeks from tonight for the next 410s.
Right on. Thank you.
Chris Sebeski finishing in 3rd tonight. Let's move on and let's talk to Mr. Rylan Gray. He started out front. He led a lot of this. Rylan, did the car go away? Were you short on fuel? It looked like you fell back and then started to really fall off there after Carrenta got around you.
Yeah, I made some adjustments to the car because I knew the track was going to blow off, and I just don't have as many laps as any of these guys in the field in these cars after the new build. And I mean, I was full lock 90 degrees to the left about the entire race. So I definitely had it a little too tight, but I knew it would have been better in the end of the race. I just wasn't driving it hard enough at the beginning on the curb and let Ross get by me. And then I think I started finally catching up to him those last few laps. And then the final lap, I got lucky. I just wall road, broke the right front, and I was able to just basically crawl the thing to the finish line.
I was going to ask you, it looked like that, and we'll call it a curb. I don't really know what it officially is, but that pile of dirt right up there around the fence, it was getting a little thin. It looked like it was getting a little bumpy.
Yeah, my car, I'm pretty happy with the setup adjustments I made because the thing was really tight, but it was very stable on the curb. It just wasn't wanting to suck up to it and immediately want to crash itself. But it was definitely really good. I've never seen somebody be so fast here with just running through the slick. I mean, Ross was just so good, just 4 in the slick under the cushion, not even close to it, and it was just so consistent. I've never seen that fast here before, but it was a solid race all in all to get a top 3 with these guys.
Well, an awesome run, man. Nonetheless, give me some shout outs and thank yous before we let you go.
Just everybody at Precision Motorsports. We're all a little busy with real racing this summer, so we'll be back stronger than ever in the winter. So I just got to thank them for, those practices we had in the winter.
All right, man. Congrats on the run. I'll look forward to seeing you next week back in the 360s, maybe.
Thank you.
That is your second place finisher, Rylan Gray. And now let's move on to the guy that was super fast in the slick. And I got to ask you, Ross Corinta, how was that car that good in the middle of the racetrack?
Honestly, Rylan asked me the same question, and I'm not really sure. It just you're gonna have to ask the guys at M9 about that one, because I just drive it.
Well, you put it in there, and you were able to go to the front. Once you got there, it didn't take you very long to open up a half a second, 6/10 of a second, and it looked like the car just really never was out of your control at all night long.
Yeah, I felt really comfortable. I tried to keep it a little like a lane lower in 1 and 2, instead of putting it right up on the wall. I'm not sure if it would have got upset if I would have put the right rear on the cushion or not. But I just figured if it was working, why change it? And luckily it worked. I think if we would have had a couple more laps, I think maybe if Rylan didn't get in the wall there, I think if I looked at my relative, he was catching me there at the end. But I was being a little conservative too. But just I don't know. The car felt good. They're a lot easier to drive when you can feel comfortable like that. So,
well, you started 7th, you finished 1st. There's a lot of drivers that are really good in here. And did you know the car was good enough to go that far forward that quick?
Right before, I think it was the first yellow, when I had got up to 4th, I was running the bottom pretty well in both corners, and I thought for a while if the track didn't slick off too much that I was going to have a chance. Car felt good, and like I said, and then Rylan was running a pretty clean, good race there for most of it, and there was a time, I don't remember what lap it was, but I started reeling them in. I'm like, okay, I thought to myself, I keep it clean and off the wall, I might have a chance at this. So luckily, driver didn't have any big errors tonight, and we were able to put it in victory lane.
Well, an awesome run, man. Shout outs and thank yous before we let you go celebrate.
Yeah, obviously, everybody over at M9 for setups, Phantom Motorsports guys, Velocity Race Design. I don't know, you for putting on the show, and everybody at DSRL behind the scenes making the league work. So it's fun to run with you guys.
All right, man. Congrats on the win. Thanks for chatting with us, and I'll look forward to seeing you back real soon.
Thanks, Roger.
Ross Corinta picking up the win at Eldora tonight. Before we get out, let's real quick take a look at the official results. It was Corinta, Gray, and Sebeski, 1, 2, 3. Royer with a good finish. He picked up 11 spots and got up to 4th right there. I think he got a little damage in one of the early incidents, and it really kind of held him back. But good run for him. Rick Main was 5th. Joseph Grandy 6th. Ryan Scheidt with a fantastic run tonight. He was in 7th. Brad Waite in 8th. Thaddeus Marshall was 9th. 10th was Richie Gaines. Patrick Spangler in the 11th. Dean Reynolds 12th. Jay Schaff 13th. Tiny Dancer, Scotty King finishes 14th. The last car on the lead lap tonight. Klimowitz was 15th. Grimm 16th. 17th to Whiteman. 18th to Shell. And I don't know what happened to Tyler Shell. We were going to watch him. I expected him to come forward pretty quickly. Something happened, and he was an early exit in this one. Ernie Williams, an early exit in 19th. Schobelach in 20th. Bowen Smith in that 21st spot. And Noah Bowman in the 22nd spot. So a lot of drivers we expect to see go to the front end up in some kind of incident, and they do not make the finish. That's racing sometimes. And at Eldora, anything can and usually does happen. All in all, great night of racing. I want to thank all of you for being here. Without you, there's no reason for us to do this. Without all the awesome leagues giving us great racing, nothing for us to cover. So high fives and pats on the back all the way around. Don't forget to tune in with us tomorrow night about 8:30 Eastern for ERA, and the rest of the week at 8:30 or 9 o'clock Eastern every night as we get through this week and bring you some fantastic motorsports. But until we see you again, peace and love to everybody. Keep